Soldiers and brothers, my precious little war puppies. Today we stand at the edge of the world, the English Channel, about to do what Julius Flop Caesar couldn't do. Conquer Britannia!
You what, mate? I'll bonk you with a stick from Tesco. You can conquer my arse, mate. Tell Mandem to piss off back to Rome, you purple napkin.
But relax. With me, your sexy king, your god, you are safe. And today, we will... What the Who the hell does this wet op think it is?
I'm in the middle of a historic monologue.
I believe that it's the tide, my lord. No. That was Neptune deliberately throwing shade at me. That salty little puddle manager been testing me ever since Capri. You really think the god of the sea... do I look like a joke to you? Yes! Aquaman with daddy issues wants the smoke with me. Okay. Again, I think we got a comedian here. All right. Bet. All right, guys, pack it up. We are robbing this Neptune fool. Seize the shells, arrest the crabs. I want Neptune broke and publicly humiliated. And when we parade into Rome with buckets of sea garbage and a dead starfish, the people will know that the emperor does not get splashed. He claps back. I can already hear it. Wow, he really did it. He really humbled the ocean. So let's spin the block on Neptune! Okay, so Caligula spawned on August 31st, 12 AD, with the full government name Gaius Julius Caesar Germanicus, which is basically Latin for this kid is about to be important. Caligula was not born as some random NPC Roman peasant with 3 wheat and no sandals. His bloodline sliders were actually illegal. His mother, Agrippina, was the granddaughter of Augustus, Rome's golden boy emperor, and his father Germanicus was a giga-popular general with an insane amount of clout. His father was also the adopted son and nephew of the emperor at the time, Tiberius, which basically meant the throne was already sitting in the cart, one-click checkout, and the people were constantly refreshing the tracking page cause Emperor Tiberius was low-key weird and running on max paranoia settings. Caligula grew up in military camps, tents, screaming soldiers, and one day in the camp, his mom Agrippina puts bro in a microscopic legion fit. But the soldiers, grown-ass men by the way, fold immediately. They straight up nickname him Caligula, which translates to tiny boots. Cute name for a toddler. Absolutely diabolical branding for a future tyrant. A twin. I have to arrest you, gang. My bad, for real. Okay, but like, who even sent you though? Straight orders from Lil Crocs. Nothing I can do. Yeah, nah. I'ma respectfully decline that, twin. But tell the bros it was good though. Other than a goofy-ass nickname, you probably think Caligula's youth was about to be pretty cushy with all that early game privilege. My boy was about to speedrun trauma. While his dad was farming fat dubs in Germania and stacking unholy levels of public approval, Tiberius' insecurity and microscopic emperor aura scaled proportionately with it. And then Germanicus pulled up to Rome to celebrate his victories.
Woo, Germanicus, the GOAT. That's why he's the GOAT.
Guys, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh my god, you went outside and fought NPCs. Whoa. Whoop, whoop. Must be nice getting applause for playing in the mud. We defeated 3 tribes, uncle. Allegedly. I didn't see it. Could have been fake.
Woo! Germanicus!
Okay, we heard you the first time. He touched grass once. Stop glazing him so much. Unc, why are you such a party pooper? Like, we secured Rome's borders. Yeah, well, I secure vibes on the daily. And you don't see me begging for attention. Bringle brr. You know what, nephew? Actually, this is huge. I've been so ungrateful. Like, wow. I'm actually such a good emperor for realizing this. But you deserve a promotion. Like, immediately. Really? To what? Asia. Tiberius straight up yeeted Germanicus to the edge of the empire so he wouldn't get too popular. And a few years later, Germanicus suddenly dies of an illness. Not sus at all. Nothing to see here. Agrippina looked at this messy situation and had a big problem to solve. How am I supposed to keep my fam safe from this paranoid emperor who may or may not have packed my husband? Oh wait. I know. How about aggressively campaigning my son's claims to the throne? This is where an ambitious little menace named Sejanus enters the chat, head of the Praetorian Guard. Cause Tiberius had at this point moved himself to the island of Capri to live his remote control emperor era. Camera off, mic muted, and vibes extremely Epstein. He had lifted day-to-day power in Rome to Sejanus, and what Sejanus wanted the most was to place himself next in line for the throne. The only thing in his way was Germanicus' remaining family. And since Tiberius was AFK, paranoid, and doom-scrolling on his little island, Sejanus could convince Tibi of anyone plotting against him in Rome, so Sejanus started deleting them, one by one. Listen up, chat. Yeah. So, Agrippina the Elder is repping treason for her, plus, we all know she mad arrogant, and her oldest son is fruity. Wait, dead ass? On God, Your Honor. And what does the Emperor have to add? Tiberius? And what is that supposed to mean? That means exile everyone from Germanicus' bloodline. You okay, bro? Sejanus was basically in the corner doing the full villain hand rub animation. He'd been whispering in Tiberius' ear on some low volume snake stuff. And next thing you know, Caligula's mom and his two older brothers are either executed or exiled. At this point, it felt astronomically scripted that Caligula was next in the death queue. It was basically GG, credits about to roll. And then old head Tiberius pulls out a rabbit from the imperial head. So I would suggest maybe moving the troops east, and then we could... Yo, Senate! We live? You're behaving, or do I gotta smart somebody? Tiberius? Nah, good to see you, my glorious emperor, sir. Okay. Save the glaze for someone who cares, bro. You're doing tricks on it right now. Okay, hear me out. What if I took Germanicus' youngest kid, what's little bro name again? Like, you mean Caligula? We still calling him that? Yeah, well, him, I guess. I wanna groom him as my heir. Send him 2-3 year capri and forget. Tell him we'll just chill, nothing weird, totally normal vacation. Vacation is actually insane wording, cause Capri was not vibes. Tiberius was known for the most unhinged island activities, freaky air parties, and cruel punishment, and he dragged Caligula into it under the label of emperor training. Sure, Unc, if you want Diddy as your heir. But since Tiberius had basically clapped his entire bloodline, it was strictly survival mode for Caligula. He clocked the meta instantly. Don't act moral, act useful. Hey, boy. Whatever. Come here. Are you mad that me and Sejanus killed your family or whatever? No. Good. Cause that would have been cringe. All right, now emperor training. Okay, listen. Do the gritty. The what? The gritty. Don't act brand new with me, little sandal boy. I'm tapped in with the youth. Now! Okay, that's enough. Now go throw those people off a cliff. I'm racing a whole air viper for Rome. Caligula getting shoved into grandpa daycare was not in Sejanus' little villain vision board. Meanwhile, Caligula's grandma Antonia Minor was starting to feel a little suspicious about her whole family getting killed. And she starts connecting the dots. Sejanus moving a little too main character for someone who's supposed to be an assistant. So Granny writes Tiberius a letter. Antonia was a day one for Tiberius. So when she sends tea, it is boiling hot chamomile. He read the letter and Sejanus was cooked. Replaced, arrested, ratioed by grandma. And while all this was happening, Caligula did the highest IQ move possible. Absolutely nothing. Bro stayed on the low, studied, kept it NPC. But he
did get a very important homie though, Macro, the newly appointed head of the Praetorian Guard after Sejanus, which was a fat dub for Caligula. Cause if you control the guard, your odds of being next in line were looking real generous. But unfortunately for Caligula, Oldhead Tiberius was actively dodging the air convo like it was a group project. The only other real option than Caligula was a dude named Gemellus, his so-called grandson, heavy on the so-called, because Tiberius was starting to low-key question the paternity patch notes. The streets were whispering that Sejanus might be the dad of Gemellus instead of his own son Drusus. Tiberius, we must decide the heir. Fine, what are my mid options then? Caligula or your grandson Gemellus? Look at me, Macro. No, really. Analyze the specimen. Prime jawline, imperial posture. When I enter a room, the air adjusts. Now look at Gemellus. That boy not as fly as me, not even remotely. Zero sauce, negative drip, background character stance. How are you related to me and built like optional dialogue? And that nose? That is not my nose. That's Sejanus' dumbass nose. Matter of fact, he probably could smell if I farted here from across the villa. No, don't do. Oh my god. Yeah, he definitely caught that. See? That's Sejanus genetics. No way that's mine. So what I'm hearing is Caligula remains the strongest candidate. The people also like him. No, absolutely not. Next slide. You cannot reject both. Then I'll just pick both. Co-emperor, shared custody of Rome. Problem solved. This fucking... He did indeed name them co-heirs, and not long after, Tiberius randomly decided to throw a javelin. Bro was pushing 80. It did not go well. He injured himself, took to his bed, and never locked back in again. So, after years of paranoia, Capri arc, and full family wipeouts, Caligula was finally about to get the ox to the empire. And 2 days after Chippy locked out for good, the Senate looked at that whole co-emperor setup and basically went, yeah, we're not doing that shit. Gemellus was only 17 anyway, and Caligula, being Warlord Germanicus' son, had the people and the soldiers glazing him heavy. So the Senate scrapped the duo mode and crowned 24-year-old Caligula sole emperor. He returned to Rome for the first time in 6 years. Rome generally thought that the Tiberius flop era was finally getting patched. And low-key, it did for a minute. First, Caligula made a power play disguised as humble king. He adopted Gemellus as his son and heir, just to flex to the Senate that he was not paranoid like old grandpa. Then came the PR tour.
Rome was in chaos. Until one man appeared. Caligula, the people's prince. Free money. Bro is literally launching coins like Roman Mr. Beast. Prisoners? Freed. Justice just dropped. Games, feasts, celebration. Rome hasn't been this back in centuries. Caligula, the people's emperor. Yeah, no way this guy is ever going to ruin everything.
It was a dub emperor debut. For now. Cause about 6 months into his reign, the vibes did a full 180. Caligula gets bodied by a mystery sickness and almost dies. And when bro recovered, he wasn't Golden Boy Caligula anymore. He was full glitch in the brain Caligula. A new update had dropped, Paranoia.